Hey everyone, my name is Maddy and today I'll be doing a review of all the Korean products I could get my hands on from Trader Joe's. This video was not sponsored by anyone and I spent my own money on these products, so I'm gonna be giving a brutally honest review of each of the products. I am so excited to show you what's actually worth buying and what's not if you want some quick Korean food from your local Trader Joe's. Shall we? Wow, it's so rainy today, but I'm still gonna head to my local Trader Joe's. Just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Korea until I was 13 and I've lived in New York City the past 11 years. And I love to cook Korean food and I have a cooking channel here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok called Cafe Maddy. The past few years, I think there was some kind of explosive interest in Korean food and culture in America, which led to this beautiful, amazing phenomenon. Korean food and ingredients being available to the mainstream grocery stores, like Trader Joe's. So, having absolutely no reasonable access to an H Mart from where I live in Brooklyn, I want to do this review to see if it's worth it to buy Korean products from Trader Joe's. I've mentioned this on my Instagram before, but things like essential Korean ingredients being available in a regular supermarket really improves the quality of my life, and I hope it does for you too, regardless of where you're from. I'm not going to be so hypercritical though, because more than half of the products are from the frozen section, and let's be real, there's only so much you can expect from frozen foods. But at the same time, the Trader Joe's soup dumplings pretty much blew me away, so I do have some hope that I'll be able to find some good Korean stuff that I can regularly buy at Trader Joe's and recommend to you. Here is also a disclaimer. I'm Korean, but I'm not an expert, nor am I a culture police trying to bring anyone down. So all I got here are some pretty good taste buds, and today I'm going to use them to let you know if the product is worth it for you to buy. So hope this is helpful, and let's jump right in. So here is everything that I got, along with the gochujang and the tteokbokki, which I went back because it was sold out before. And let me explain one by one. So my first meal is gonna be the bulgogi beef fried rice with kimchi, frozen beef short ribs, the kimchi, and seaweed snacks. So let's first cook the frozen beef short ribs. This came in a pretty solid frozen piece, so I'm gonna defrost it first by running it under cold water. In the meantime, I'm gonna cook the bulgogi beef fried rice with kimchi. At first glance, it looks pretty legit. It's made with short grain rice, which is a Korean standard. That's our staple rice. We don't really eat long grain or medium grain, so that's good. And I see that each grain is frozen separately, which makes it easier to heat up in a pan. I'm gonna be adding a sunny side up egg, as I always do with fried rice. So now the beef short ribs are ready. These are commonly known in the Korean community as LA galbi. Some say it's because it was invented in LA, and others say it's because it's the lateral cut of short rib, so the LA came from lateral. And now I'm gonna try the kimchi. I was actually pretty surprised that Trader Joe's had a jar of kimchi. If this is good, this could be a game changer, but it was actually pretty horrible. It's tasted almost like it had gone bad. I'm not sure, because when I opened it, it came with a little bit of mold. I don't know if that's from the fermentation. I don't know what they did, but it was pretty gross. I would not recommend the Trader Joe's kimchi at all. Let me show you what a good kimchi is supposed to look like. This is from a brand called Tobagi. It's called Country Style Sliced Kimchi, and it's bright red. This was Trader Joe's kimchi. It was kind of greenish with the white molds. I don't know if you can see. And it looked like they used some kind of bok choy instead of napa cabbage, although the label says it's napa cabbage. It really just tasted horrible, way too sour, and just salty without any of the nuances of a good fermented kimchi. So today I'll be using my own kimchi because I can't even serve this to myself. I eventually went back to Trader Joe's to return it, which they accepted without even questioning or even opening the jar, so I couldn't even confirm whether the mold was pretty standard or not. And this is the seaweed snack. I was surprised to see nothing on the label about being Korean because this is a pretty Korean product. It's a pretty standard roasted Korean seaweed, lightly salted and brushed with sesame oil, and you eat it with rice. So this is our meal. We have our beef short rib, our fried rice, and our seaweed snacks. I'm gonna first try the seaweed. The seaweed is pretty thin, lightly salted, and crispy, just the way I've known it all my life. So I'd say this is pretty good. There's also a lot of them inside one container, so you get a bang for the buck. I'm actually gonna put the beef fried rice inside the seaweed and wrap it. I really actually love the beef fried rice. I would definitely get this again. The flavors are on point. It's lightly spicy. You can feel all the textures of the different veggies and the kimchi, and I don't know, I have no complaints. Now onto the beef short ribs, or LA galbi. I cut it into 3 pieces so you can pick it up at the bone and then eat it with your hand and rip it off with your teeth like this. It's pretty good, not bad. It's tender enough, I think, a little bit tough in some places, but pretty standard. And the flavor actually is on point. It's sweet, savory with a sesame oil flavor, and I would say this is a pretty common LA galbi marinade flavor. So based on this meal, I would give the fried rice a 8.5 out of 10, the beef short ribs an 8 out of 10, the seaweed snacks a 7 out of 10, and the kimchi a negative 10 out of 10. Don't get the kimchi. Alright, now it's dinner time and it's time to try this beefless bulgogi, which is vegan, and the tteokbokki, which is also vegan. So unintentionally, I guess I'm gonna be having a vegan dinner today. The beefless bulgogi is 3 servings, so I'm gonna cut this up into 1 serving. And just by the looks of it, honestly, the first impression is that it looks kind of gross, but I'm gonna cut it and then I'll give it a try. I'm gonna microwave this 2 to 3 minutes, and then let's move on to the tteokbokki. The photo of this tteokbokki looks actually beautiful, so I'm very intrigued. The duck looks pretty legitimate, and I'm going to follow the alternative instructions. They have 3 instructions, and one is to air fry the duck first and then add it to the heated sauce in the pan. And usually in Korea there's something called oil tteokbokki, where you pan fry the rice cakes first to make them crispy and then you toss them in the sauce. But in this case, I think air frying is pretty genius because it turned out so easy. I didn't have to use 2 pans, and voila! I was done in about 10 to 15 minutes. So the beefless bulgogi is done. I'm still pretty skeptical about this, but I'm going to give it a try. And then our tteokbokki is also ready to eat. Shall we? First, I have to say I'm so glad the packaging included this air frying method as instructions. I truly appreciate that. And first impression, it's delicious, period. And second bite, I am so happy right now. Okay, no question about it. This is absolutely a 10 out of 10. Okay, let's try the beefless bulgogi. They actually surprisingly look like little strips of beef, which kind of freaks me out, but at least it looks a little bit better than when it was frozen. And when I smell it, surprisingly, it actually smells like that umami meat smell of bulgogi. So I'm pretty intrigued. I'm gonna take a bite, and my first impression is interesting, and I'm a bit confused at first about how I feel about this beefless bulgogi. So I'm gonna take another bite, and it's actually not terrible. When I bit into it and when I chew for the first few seconds, it tastes like I'm chewing into a portobello or shiitake mushroom. That's like a fibrous mushroom. But at the same time, it doesn't taste like a mushroom. So far, it has like a mushroomy texture,
So part of me wishes that it was actually mushroom instead of like a synthetic food. I think just like mentally or psychologically, I always feel a little bit uneasy about eating like synthesized food. But this is not bad. I think it's pretty similar to the authentic bulgogi flavor. A little bit more umami than bulgogi. Bulgogi is more like sweet and salty and like nutty from the sesame oil. And this has kind of what I would think would come from like a mushroom flavor. On this one, this piece that I'm eating tastes more like a jerky. Okay. This is a 10 out of 10. This, as a non-vegan person, I would never get again. But if you want to try it, if you want to have like a plant-based night or like plant-based meal once a week, don't get this. Just make a vegetarian dish or like make a vegan dish. There are plenty of recipes out there. Or get the vegan pad thai, which is really good. This one, I don't know. So instead of this, I would definitely recommend getting the vegan vegetable pad thai at Trader Joe's that's frozen. That's absolutely delicious, 100%. I'm not entitled to say what tastes Thai and what doesn't, but based on what I've eaten in New York, that one comes really close and I really enjoyed it and I would buy it again. But this meatless bulgogi, I don't know. At least I have this tteokbokki. Man, I'm so glad I made both of them at the same time so I could eat this instead of the bulgogi. This was so good. The rice cakes are super authentic. It's even softer than the ones that I get at H Mart. I think it has more of a rice flour content than wheat flour, if it's made with wheat flour at all. So these, when you cook them, they become super soft, and as soon as they cool down, they become a little bit harder. So rice cake, 10 out of 10. I totally love it. And the sauce too, I'm really surprised. I feel like the sauce is better than my recipe. You can clearly see the scallions in the sauce. It's on the spicier end. I think I see a lot of black pepper. And the spiciness that comes from black pepper is very, very flavorful. So in my tteokbokki, I never really thought of putting in black pepper, but I think definitely I'm gonna give it a try. And I'm like learning flavor notes from this Trader Joe's tteokbokki. I taste garlic, and then maybe they put MSG in it, I don't know. But without going into so much detail, this is totally approved. I really love it. I can see why it was sold out at Trader Joe's. I'm gonna try to finish this, but I don't know about this. It's kind of weird.
Okay, a little bit of a confession here. My meal, after all, wasn't entirely vegan because I added a soft-boiled egg that was just perfect with the tteokbokki, and I finished it. So here's a summary of my review today. I really love the bulgogi beef fried rice with kimchi. I like the beef short rib and seaweed snacks, and I hated the kimchi. Feel free to snag a screenshot of this screen so you can look for these items next time you're at Trader Joe's. Just one thing is that I spent quite a bit of time making this video, so please don't share this screen only to your social media, but instead, if you could share the link to this video to your friends and family, that would really be amazing. And of course, we can't forget the tteokbokki that I absolutely loved and the beefless bulgogi that I hated. Next up, we have some more Korean Trader Joe's reviews coming up in a part 2 where I review the gochujang, the rice cakes, and the very much requested Korean cinnamon pancakes or hotteup, along with the beef bulgogi. This time it's not beefless, so let's hope that it's a little better. Let me know in the comments if you have any Trader Joe's favorites that you approve as someone who grew up with that particular food. And also if I missed any other Korean products, let me know in the comments as well. If you want to see more of these reviews, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Cafe Maddy and subscribe to this channel. Have a good day!